Okay, good day to everyone. We are students from University Science Malaysia. My name is Ratna. Today we are going to present about the most hot current issue, which is coronavirus, where widely spread all over the world. The COVID-19 was first identified in December 2019 in Wuhan, China. The World Health Organization declared the outbreak as a pandemic on March 2020. Today, we are going to present about the impact of COVID-19 and also not forgetting to thank and appreciate our frontliners for their effort for battling bravely to overcome this deadly virus. Our world is facing challenge fighting an invisible virus where many people facing financial problem, health problem, even lost their loved one because of this coronavirus. And it has put significant pressure on our healthcare system. We are very thankful and appreciate for our modern heroes, our dear frontliners such as doctors, nurses, police officers, army officers, delivery services, volunteer journalists, and more. Nevertheless, our frontliners continue to devote their time, energy to contain this pandemic just for the world to be peace again. The world are humbled by their sacrifice, invaluable dedication, commitment, and unwavering effort in managing COVID-19. Oftentimes risking their own life for the benefit of the nation. Although they exposed to excessive stress for long time period can have many harmful consequences on their emotional and mental well-being. Yet they never give up the fight and have a perfect guideline to the nation. In addition, we also appreciate government effort in giving a big incentive added to their salary as a result of showing gratitude for their extreme effort in overcoming this pandemic. I think this incentive should be given permanently. This because our dear frontliners are working more hours in this pandemic and risking their life just to save our life. Lastly, volunteer, NGO, and even individual is doing charity like providing food, money, needs goods, and any other help can be provided for the people who really need in this pandemic time to help the government and frontliners to reduce their burden and pressure. This will give much confidence for the frontliners to keep fighting this virus despite all the stress and pressure. Therefore, frontliners need the cooperation of the public to comply with the COVID-19 Standard Operation Procedures (SOP) during the current movement control order and always wearing masks, maintaining physical distance, and finally stay at home if there is no any unnecessary things to do at outside. Just until we win the battle together by reducing our frontliners' burden also to overcome this pandemic. Without delaying, I will let my way to Nandini to talk about impact of COVID-19 in Malaysia. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Hello, friends. Let me introduce myself. My name is Naganantini. Before I start my point, I would like to thank Ratna for her speech regarding appreciation on our dear frontliners to win this battle against COVID-19. Here, I'm going to talk about the impact of COVID-19 towards tourism industry. 2020 was to be the big year for Malaysian tourism sector. Hotels and airlines were expecting millions of guests. What came was a deadly virus. This is the worst crisis Malaysia's tourism industry has ever faced. In year 2020, tourism was supposed to boom like never before. Worldwide, the advertising drive for the big campaign Visit Malaysia 2020 was set in motion. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has put a damper on all of this, particularly affecting the more than 3.5 million people working in the tourism industry. First of all, the impact on airlines. Airlines industry players has highlighted that the current travel bans and plummeting demand around the world have put the loss-making carrier at risk of bankruptcy. All three Malaysia airlines like AirAsia, Malindo Air, and Malaysian Airlines have initiated salary cut range from 10% to 100% and unpaid leave depending on the salary range and position. The drastic loss of both revenue and profit for all three major Malaysian-based airlines, which has resulted in a high risk of bankruptcy, has caused the airlines to ask government of Malaysia to step in to provide support to the airline industries. The second is impact on hotel business. Hotels are struggling to survive to the extent that 35% of hotel had to cease their operation temporarily. Malaysian Association of Hotel has estimated that there will be 60% loss of tourism business and 15% of the hotel operators not able to survive and completely close their operation. As airlines and accommodation are considered as two major elements in tourism industry, they may take initiative to recommend travelers to avoid all non-essential international travel. Airline industry may feature the current situation of COVID-19 crisis and highlighted the basic proactive measures such as social distance maintaining, practicing hygiene, and washing hands frequently. So that's all. Thank you. Mr. Vimal, what do you think on other impact of COVID-19?
Okay, first of all, thank you for Naganandini for giving me this opportunity. Okay, now let's go to the point. The COVID-19 outbreak has impacted businesses of all sizes and industries of various kinds. The higher education sector is not exempted. The COVID-19 has posed significant challenges to the tertiary education sector. This critical assessment pieces discusses the impact of COVID-19 on the tertiary education sectors in Malaysia. Many universities and colleges were forced to make swift changes to move the online teaching when the MCO was imposed, but this comes with several challenges. First, even students and lecturers can get past the technical difficulties. One cannot assume that all tertiary students enjoy unlimited internet access or possess laptops or desktops that allow them to attend online classes freely. Second, coverage of speed of internet also vary depending on one's budget and location. Hence, it's likely that some tertiary students, especially those who reside in rural areas, do not enjoy internet access or sufficiently good internet access the way most of their peers who live in urban areas do. The students run a high risk of being left behind if classes are entirely conducted online. For engineering students, online classes simply cannot replace face-to-face teaching nor help their studies. This is because experiments of engineering students are mostly done in workshops. All the necessary equipment or tools can only be found in the workshop. Let's imagine engineering students facing this kind of problems. How about the medical students? It's really hard to imagine that what kind of hardship they are facing. Inadvertently, the students will also be negatively affected. To reiterate, the quality of teaching will be compromised as students can no longer enjoy the interaction in the lecture halls and tutorial rooms. In an online setting, it's harder for students to ask questions in a non-invasive way. In a lecture halls or tutorial room setting, everyone can observe each other's body language and have eye contact. Such a setting is usually more conducive for debates and discussions. It is also true such a setting that students can listen to their peers' contribution and continue their discussion outside the formal classes. However, an online classroom is not as conducive to such a discussion. So far, this is some points about the impact of studies. So, Mr. Danish, what is your view on the impact of employment rate?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Iman, for the opportunity. Okay, here I'm going to share a few things about effect of unemployment on COVID-19. Okay, the impact of COVID-19 on Malaysia economy can be said via high employment rate in 2019. The employment rate of Malaysia is 3.3%, which means there are 500,000 individuals are unemployed. The COVID-19 pandemic has seriously impacted the Malaysian economy. This can be seen by Comparing the unemployment rate in Malaysia in January 2020, the unemployment rate is 3.2, but there is a continuously increase in the unemployment rate until of 10th May 2020, it's reached 5.3%. This is not a good sign because there is a negative trend in the labor demand. Okay, how the jobless people are affected from the COVID and also due to the lockdown, which is started from 18 March 2020. Unemployed individuals are experiencing difficulties meeting their basic needs as well contributing to the economic perspective in our country. In recessions of many people losing their jobs because many companies in Malaysia shut down during the pandemic. For example, in tourism sector, many tourism companies are closed due to the COVID-19 because they cannot operate their business. In these cases, many individuals are lost their jobs and lost their income too. So this is our major effect. So the unemployment results in individuals losing their source of income and livelihood. Most people in unemployment use their incomes to pay their loans and other form of financing. Losing of incoming leads to the poor living standard and also increase the risk on health. But our Malaysian government implement few rules which is no need to pay the loans during the lockdown period. And also our Malaysian government help jobless people and also for the individuals who are lost their income and before and after COVID by providing few schemes that like high SINA schemes and BREAM and so on. So another effect of unemployment is social exclusion. A workplace provides a platform for socializing. When people losing their jobs, their social circle reduce considerably and end up with excluded from the social environment. So other social problems associated with unemployment including the crime, vulgarity, and the gambling. So unemployment causes political stability. When it's okay. When majority of the country of population is unemployment, life becomes so hard and people develop hostile characters. They consider their government as insufficient and incapable to provide the needs of the people. So such individuals participate in movement that observe the government politics and throw the roads that results the politic instability. So the effect of unemployment included the over-explosions of available labor. So reduce the rate of economic growth, reduce the human capability, loss of human resources, and increase the mobility in our nations. So to overcome this employment rate in increase day by day, first of all, we all need to follow the government rules, which is we need to save ourselves and we need to stay at home. And also we need to protect ourselves from getting the coronavirus. When the pandemic comes to end, every problem will be solved and the business also be operated as usual. And most probably all will get job after the pandemic ends. So here I'm saying I want to share something that we have to stay at home and also we have to save ourselves and our family too to overcome this pandemic. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you all. And let's all together say this: stay home,
So
stay safe.
stay.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.